It's not an exaggeration to say the entire future of DC movies relies on James Gunn's Superman being a massive success, but luckily it looks like it's about to break box office records, let me explain. So in case you've been living under a rock, yes, DC is fully rebooting their universe and starting over with this new Superman movie, but they're not waiting to see if Superman's a success or not before they greenlight and start filming a bunch of other projects. They already have multiple different TV shows, movies, all tied into the cinematic universe that's being set up by Superman. So the pressure on this film to perform at the box office is insane. Now, it is incredibly early. We're still like a month and a half away from Superman releasing in theaters, but we have the first tracking numbers that are very solid predictions of how much a film is going to make in its opening weekend. And the first predictions are at $155 million to $175 million domestically only, which means just in the United States alone in its opening weekend. To put that in perspective, if this ends up on the higher end of those predictions, like 170 million or a little bit more, it will be the biggest domestic opening weekend ever for a DC film, counting all the Dark Knight films, the original Superman movies, like Batman vs. Superman currently holds that record somehow. That is an opening that will quickly put this movie on pace to become the highest grossing DC film ever made, because again, that's only the domestic opening weekend, and if the film is actually good and has great word of mouth, this thing is going to go insane. These are the current highest grossing DC movies of all time, which is an insane list. Aquaman is number one, making $1.1 billion. I'll explain how it made that in a second. Then The Dark Knight Rises made $1 billion, Joker $1 billion, and The Dark Knight, again, just over $1 billion. But the main reason I think Superman has a chance to gross over $1 billion and overtake Aquaman as the highest grossing DC movie ever is because of the international money. Aquaman made $800 million internationally, and $250 million of that was from China. And obviously, because of just world relations and politics, a lot of US films have not been released in China or haven't been doing well, which has really hurt a lot of big blockbusters, especially like Marvel movies and stuff. But Superman has been cleared to release overseas in China and a ton of different territories, which is really setting DC up on a really strong start to the universe, because movie-wise, you're going to have Superman. If this makes like $1 billion or something, and then you go immediately into Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which obviously isn't a direct sequel, but it's going to feel very tied in, and we're most likely going to see Supergirl in the movie or post-credit scenes of Superman, so it's going to kind of feel like a sequel. I mean, then after that, you have Clayface, which is probably not going to make a lot of money, but they're making it for pretty cheap, and they're probably going for like critical appraise on that movie instead of box office hit. Then we'll finally have the Batman Part 2, which isn't really in the new DCU, but it's going to be counted as an Elseworlds project. All while they're going to be keeping afloat new TV shows. Like, we've already seen Creature Commandos. Now we know Peacemaker Season 2 coming out this fall after Superman is a part of the new DCU. Then we're going to be getting the Lanterns TV series also this year. Now, I do kind of think it's a little risky to have so many different TV shows to kick off your cinematic universe alongside Superman instead of focusing on a couple movies at first, but we do know that James Gunn is going to try to avoid the mistakes Marvel made. He's going to try to make every single project stand alone so you can watch the TV shows and just understand them without seeing all the different movies and stuff, which is what made Marvel such a mess. But whether you're a Marvel fan or a DC fan or a fan of both franchises like me, this is really the best case scenario, because we can all agree Marvel has been lacking lately, and we need them to have some strong competition that will make them up their game, really focus in on the quality, and it seems like they're doing that now. They're already delaying Doomsday to make sure this is as good as possible. Having a great DC and Marvel universe going at the same time will just be amazing to witness. Let me know in the comments below your prediction for how much Superman will make total in the box office, and if you want to see my video reacting to the newest trailer of Superman, click the video at the top, or if you want to see the latest news about Avengers Doomsday being delayed and what that means for the MCU, click the video at the bottom.